Hello, everyone. Diana Rankin here, and let's see who's with us today. Okay, Julie says, "Hello, everyone from stormy Ohio." Yes, you may even hear it come through the window there, although the windows are closed, so you shouldn't. We are having storms today, and so I wish everyone safety and take care. And good to see you, Juliet. Welcome everyone who comes. You know, I want to also say thank you for your emotional support, your love. Thank you for your financial support. I don't allow ads on the videos, and sometimes I have to go back and see if their ads were put on old videos and take those off. So your donations are deeply, deeply appreciated. Thank you. If you have questions, just put them in the comments right below. And if you have personal questions, just give me a call and we will get you set up for a session. To find out the cost of sessions and all that, just go to my website, dianarankin.com. It's just my name. Hello, she says, SV says, hi, Diana and all. So good to see you. Thank you. Glad you're with us. I so appreciate those of you who can come live to help hold the energy. And those of you who can't come live but watch us later, we appreciate you as well. Thank you. And love your comments. Love your comments. We're going to answer a viewer's question. Actually, there are two questions today, and it's about our calling. And I want to say, before I read the answer, and then I'm sorry, we will get a message from one of my books, the Master's Book of Answers by Philip. As you know, it's just an oracle book, and we just will open to any page and get our answer for the week or a message for the week. I want to say that today's message is how I think of a calling, even though this is coming through Philip, and there are things in here that, wow, oh, okay, I didn't think of that. But we've all read those stories about the miracle of suddenly we're pulled to our knees because we have a calling and so we suddenly get it. We've read all those stories. I want to say for most of us, and I'm not saying there aren't some true stories like that, there may be, but I want to say for most of us, that's not how it happens. So let's learn how it happens from Philip, my spirit guide. Here we go. Let me put my glasses on so I can see a little bit better here. Here's what Philip has to say. The questions are, what does one know? How does one know when one is receiving a calling to serve a particular life surface? What might that look like? And here's what Philip tells us. Let us begin by defining a calling. A calling is the fulfillment of one's soul contract. Soul contracts are made by each individual before human birth. As human life becomes consuming, the person may think they have forgotten their soul contract. However, most have been living it all along without knowledge of doing so because it felt so natural. Soul contracts require education, the same as in human life. We tell you this because you may not feel as though you are fulfilling your soul contract while you are in the educational process. Soul contracts also require rest and stepping back from your life at times. This is a needed period of rest to allow you to propel forward after the rest time is completed. During this time, many become disillusioned and want to give up. I always say, to me, it's like being in the Irish mist and I'm off in the forest. And all of a sudden I realize, wait a minute, I'm off in the forest. I need to find that porch light and get back home. And that's kind of what it feels like to me, that we may be at rest and not even realizing it. And then all of a sudden we realize it. And that's when we get frustrated, when we realize it. Until then, we're fine. Okay, here's what Philip goes on to say about that. Here's the rest period. We cannot emphasize how important this time is. It is a time when we are rewiring your physical brain to allow you to go to a higher spiritual level. And that can happen, by the way, multiple times in our life when we're ready. We do not want you to live at this level too long, so it is important for you to pay attention to your personal whispers. Do not rush, for that will only cause misunderstandings and false starts. Do not delay, for that will cause unhappiness. Do not wait to see the whole picture, for that will keep you waiting a lifetime. That's especially important for Americans because we want the whole picture. Tell us all before I take the first step, and it doesn't work that way. Do not wait to see the whole picture, for that will keep you waiting a lifetime. Instead, do the following. Ask to be fulfilling your life calling in all the ways you are ready to do so. Look back through your life. What have you been drawn to? What is important from your childhood? What drew you to study what you studied? Look at both what led you to the practical and the dreaming. To give you a few examples, as a child, did you dress up your dolls? Has that led you to design beautiful clothes that make people feel good? I did not dress up my doll, by the way. She was put on the shelf, but that's a whole nother story. Did you spend enjoyment time reading? Mm-hmm. Perhaps if so, you feel compelled to write books that help others. Here I am. Were you interested in helping people create new things that help others? If so, this might lead you to learn law to protect inventions. Do you want to help your friends solve their heartaches and problems? If so, perhaps your calling is to be a therapist, counselor, or coach. Did you see people in spirit world when you were a child? If so, are you called to ease the hearts of loved ones on earth? And some things that I kept hearing in my head, but when I went to write them down, they went right down. If you had an illness, perhaps as a child, it led you into the medical field. It's always look at those childhood loves and desires and patterns. If you were hurt as a child, what does that hurt have to do with today's life? And how has that led you? Because your whole calling is in your life. Philip goes on. We could continue with examples, but we feel you grasp what we are saying. Your calling is being fulfilled as you follow which feeds you. We did not say that which is easy or even that which always makes you happy. We said that which feeds you. By this, we mean that which gives you a sense of fulfillment, a sense that makes you say thank you to the powers that helped you, to yourself, and to all the people, animals, nature involved. When you have this sense of knowing, you have somehow changed life for the better for another, you will know that sense of fulfillment. It is then you will look back on your life and know you are living your calling. And I want to point out one thing. I'm looking back and I don't exactly remember the words, but it had to do with we are calling, we are fed that which we are ready to be fed. If we're not ready to be fed that information, we're not going to get it yet. So don't rush. As we grow, we learn more about ourselves, we learn more about life, and we learn more and more how to live our calling. And again, look back on your life. That's where you're going to say, I've lived my calling all along. I'm going to be 80 in a couple of days on the Tuesday, 11/11. Yes, on Tuesday the 11th, I'm going to turn 80. And what I've learned in these 80 years is patience. Well, sort of. What I've learned is we need patience. And in needing patience with ourselves first, and then with others, in learning patience, we learn all that we need to know. We are led, we are guided, we are shown that which we need to know. And it begins with the curiosity, it begins with the question. You want to know your calling? Start with the question. What is my calling? And then listen for those little hints that come. Hello, Gaida. She says, thank you to everyone who prayed for my sister Paula Anderson, who made her transition peacefully on November 1st. Blessings to you all from Gaida in Woodridge, Illinois. Gaida, we hold your heart in your grieving. It is never easy for those of us who are human to say goodbye to those we love. But we are so grateful that she made her transition peacefully. That's how we all want to do it, isn't it? Peacefully. So we're all going to hold you, Gaida. We're holding you in our hearts as you go through the mourning process. Now, see about that calling and see what Philip has to say, shall we? I'm getting left a slightly stronger than right. At first I heard right and I said, no, left. So if you heard that same thing, we're just in sync. If you heard left, we're definitely in. That's the message for all of us. If you heard right, that's a message you must pay attention to. And this is page 262. The mountaintop is reached only if you dare to climb the mountain. The mountaintop is reached only if you dare to climb the mountain. Oh, my friends, you may never know your calling in this lifetime unless you ask. Those are very important words. What is my calling? And then look at your life. Don't look at the big picture. Look at the big picture of your life, but don't look for the big picture. Excuse me. Look for what you dreamed of as a child. Look for how your life has helped others. That's your calling. If you heard right, it's page 363. You are an expression of the God you believe in. You are an expression of the God you believe in. I always say my God is love, so I hope I'm an expression of love. Again, the message for everyone is the mountaintop is reached only if you dare to climb the mountain. And if you heard left, that's the message for all of us. If you heard right, your message is you are an expression of the God you believe in. If you heard both, as I did, both messages are for you. All right, my friends. Rush, thank you. She says, hello, Diana and friends. And we're getting lots and lots of smiles, happy faces, and hearts being floated up. Remember, my friends, we all have a calling. And Juliet says, thank you for another beautiful message. Wishing you not only a happy birthday, but a happy birthday month. Thank you, Juliet. I appreciate that. And I have to say, and Sheila came in from Amsterdam and says, sorry, I'm too late. Sheila, you're never too late. We're always there at this right time. And Rush says, thank you, Diana. She says daylight savings. Daylight savings, that'll throw you off. Yes, absolutely. It throws all of us off. And Sheila, with being in Amsterdam, I can't even figure out the time changes myself. So bless you for being able to do that. I thank each and every one of you for being here. I thank you for your messages. I thank those of you who leave the comments below. I thank you for your questions. I love them. I thank you for the love that you send to our world. And I thank you for the love that you give to each of us, especially ourselves, and each other. Sean O'Donnell says, will I get my transplant soon? Um, Again, private questions, you do need to contact me privately. We look at, and Sean, we're all going to hold that in the energy for you and hope you do. But it is a question that I would answer privately, not in the general forum. These are the questions for everyone. But since you have asked us, let us say we are all going to hold that you do. Thank you. Sheila says, thank you. Holly says, thanks, Diana. Best wishes for your birthday. Thank you. I'm celebrating all month, and I thank you all for being here. Bless each and every one of you. And again, thank you, Sean. We're going to hold you in our prayers and in our hearts that transplant that you need comes soon. I don't know what the transplant is, but we wish you the best. And Sheila says, oh, happy birthday, Diana. Thank you, Sheila. Thank you all. I will see you next week, if not before. Thank you. Remember, you are living your calling. Look back at your life and you'll figure it out.